all day. Technically my first full day here at 713 South PCH. Never been here before. I just show off the work on occasion when it makes sense. Sometimes it's a good conversation, other times it's replacing a battery on a 15-inch XPS from Dell. Figured it might be smart to show this one off on camera. This is a fairly straightforward, relatively easy job. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this on camera, but one of the big issues on this particular well, not just this model, this particular issue with this particular issue on any computer can be sometimes physically easy to figure out. I'm trying to get the camera so you can see what's going on. Let's see here. Let's try this. Okay. I don't know if you can tell. That's not flush. So the battery's bad. And my point is that this should be flush. So I'm guessing as I tear this thing apart, these screws are going to kind of pop out, and that we've got internal pressure from the battery pushing outward towards me. That's my point. That is one way, a very common way a battery can fail. So we're going to go ahead and see if there's any cosmetic obvious damage to the battery from just normal use. Sometimes when a battery fails, it can kind of bulge out, and that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. I don't think you can tell here. Yeah, you can tell in person. I don't think I can demonstrate on camera what's going on. So, let me see if I can turn this, the microphones up a bit. There we go. All right, good. Okay, so I am going to, what is this? It's a T5 for a Dell XPS 15. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on this key, on the, a lot of pressure on the screws. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these out. This is a straightforward repair, not particularly difficult. An easier machine, easier than the HP I did in the last video. So here we go. This is a T5. And then of course they use a standard Phillips screw for the battery itself. Okay, well, there's no obvious, it's not popping apart as I de-screw it. Again, this is a T5 screw. And these screws are fairly tight. That's why I was guessing that the battery is going to be bulbous. It should be flat. Okay. So now I'm going to use a plastic spudger to tear this thing apart. This is the XPS 15. I like the fact that Dell does not hide screws under the rubber feet like HP. If this was an HP, this rubber foot here would have a couple screws under it. Okay, I think I popped. So this thing is not being pushed apart with a bad battery. It just looks a little bulbous. So maybe it's a minor bulge. Oh yes, yes. Okay, I was right. It's just not as bad as I thought. Okay, so I don't know that you can tell on camera. Oh yes, there we are. There. You see these bulge points? Those shouldn't be there. Right here. Here's your bad battery from Dell. All right. It's normal for a battery to fail. It is what's considered a consumable. There. These lumps, you can see real well. These lumps should not be here, and it was pushing up against the bottom plate. So, the replacement battery, as you'll see, is going to be perfectly flush. So now, I need a Phillips screwdriver, not the T5 to get in the machine. Oh, I turn this thing around. Now I'm going to use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the battery. Oh, did they do some... Oh, that's a new piece of cable. What is that? Interesting. Okay. There's that. Gee, the last two computers I worked on today had a lot of food in here. This fan, though, doesn't have a lot of food. The other fan was pretty congested. You can always use compressed air to take care of that. All right. So this is a 70-watt Dell battery, Dell OEM battery. There. Yep, that's gonna fall. Let's put that right there. Okay, so I've removed all the screws necessary. Nope, one more. We're almost there. Again, this is the Dell XPS 15 battery swap. Okay, it looks like I have to. The connector's actually protected on another cable here. Oh, that's an interesting, that's new. That I don't recognize. Okay. What's that chip? That's interesting. Okay. What is that? There's a little pull tab that's a little difficult to get to. And then, what the heck is that? It's an I/O board? What is that? All right. It looks like there might have been some water damage on this one too. You got some corrosion, you got some fuzz. Use the plastic spudger so I don't short anything out. Oh, there we go. What a pain. There. And there we have it. So, we've removed the battery. Yeah, there's a lot of fuzz in here. Bad battery. We will be throwing that out and not leaving it in the shop. We do not want that liability. So now I'm going to open it up. Who just texted me? Cool. All right. Box is over taped. Alrighty, this box has got all kinds of Chinesium tape on it. Alright. Ah, man, I think I need a real screwdriver. This plastic spudger is done puncturing this tape. There we are. All right. There's our new battery. See, this one's totally flat. All right. All righty. Okay, here is our replacement battery. Just plop this back down. Good. Good. All right, so I'm going to put these silver screws in there. Oh my goodness. Busy day. There we go. And there we go. Phillips screwdriver. Okay, there we go. The bulk of the work is done. Yeah, I think they have a pet. Let me get some grime in here. Let me get some of this crap out of here. Yeah, the fans themselves don't really look that congested, but there is a fair amount of fuzz in there at the intake. Oh, all right. Oh, that got rid of most of it. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to put this back together. You can see the difference. This battery, it actually isn't, I lied, it's not totally flat, but these indentations are totally normal. The indentations were actually expulsions, or expansions. Those were not normal. Okay, so now I'm going to put the battery back together with the standard Phillips head screw. Yeah, these Dells are a little more straightforward. Well, it looks like that keyboard, if I had to do the keyboard on this machine, might be a little more, we'll figure out. All right. I'm kind of curious how the keyboard is put together here. Yeah, I bet putting these screws back in won't have so much tension. You know what? This side of the screw, there, that wasn't seated properly. Yeah, so this is how you do the battery swap if you have your own Dell XPS 15. Not a terribly difficult repair. I've just done most of the screws necessary to call it a complete reassembly. So we got 4 more screws. Yeah, so if you personally have a machine that's kind of exploded, the battery probably did that. Maybe at a bigger kind of way, which means you might want to have someone like me open it up or walk away. If it's really bad, I might not want to touch it because there's a chance it won't go back together. The battery can do other damage. It can damage the touchpad that's on the other side of the battery. Oh, that's the other thing. If the touchpad is erratic, if it's got downward pressure that's pushing up when it should be down from your finger, if the battery's pushing upwards, that could be a problem. All right. All right, there. Magnetic screwdriver, grabbing the wrong screws. All right, let's see here. Almost done. It'll be interesting to see if this if this battery shipped dead. Sometimes they ship dead, sometimes they're half full. This is annoying. I got a magnet right next to the screw hole, so I have competition. The magnet's sucking the screw out of the hole. It's the magnet that tells the machine it's okay to go to sleep when it's closed. There. Okay, so now that was the last screw for the battery. Yeah, I was able to do this repair live, unedited, and complete because it's a straightforward repair. The HP I knew was going to give me grief. Alright, yes, that feels much better, nice and solid, no other collateral damage ensued with the bad battery exploding. Okay, that feels good. Now I'm going to use my T5 screwdriver. This is the no, that's a P5. This is a T5 right here. Yes, they are different. Okay, so how many more screws do we have? Oh, there's that magnet. Stop! How annoying. Let's do another hole. There we go. That feels good. Let's go back to this problematic one with the magnet. Nice little T5 screws. I don't know why the industry decided that a Phillips head screwdriver is just not good enough. They really don't want you to repair this stuff. That's really what it is. Okay, we are almost there. We're going to turn this thing on and see if it works. Okay, that's it. I've got it 100% back together. Oh man, it's filthy. She's got a bunch of interesting temporary stickers on the keys. All right, so let's do this. Let's turn this thing on. Let's see if it's shipped with a dead battery. Yeah, I think it needs to be plugged in. It is not turning on. Look at that dirt, all that fun dirt on the screen. All right, let's plug this in. And see what happens. Oh, it's USB. Interesting. It's a bigger machine for USB charging. Okay, that's plugged in. Well, that's interesting. It's not. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the battery, if it's not fully charged, I would imagine that white light turns. You can't quite see what I'm looking at. That white light there, I would expect to turn orange if the battery is not completely charged. But hey, we got results. Alrighty, yes, and I will give the customer a clean monitor before I hand it back. So there we go. And this indicator here, let's see, this indicator right there tells me it's charging. Here. Right there. This is out of focus. Let's see. There we go. Now it's in focus. This icon here is telling me it is charging. So now I get to call the customer and let them know their battery is now installed. That's pretty much it. If you've never been here before, my name is Chris with South Bay Tech Gurus. Give me a call at 855-434-8787. If you want to join me live, I'm usually here late morning, around Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday at around 10 a.m. It's been kind of hit and miss, maybe a little more recording than average now that I got a new setup. So that's pretty much it. A Dell XPS battery install. See you again later.